individual information for each of your classes. Now, in terms of exam preparation, I wanted to give you just a couple of tips, and I thought with Mr. Gioia's indulgence, I would run through just maybe 14 brief pointers on how best to prepare for the...
Excuse me, Dr. Boyd. No one wants to hear about exams.
Who's that?
No one wants to hear anything about exams.
Is this the senior prank?
This is a senior prank.
Mr. Sawyer, could you, whoever that is, can you
no
find
one
that out
wants
and
to
get
hear
them up
about
here?
the history exam in particular. All you need to know about history.
Can you get that student out here?
250 years ago, we kicked the British arse in a war. and then in 1812, y'all wanted to fight again.
I am very sorry for this interruption.
This
is clearly not a student who graduated during your time here. He would know better than this.
We kicked your arse in the war of 1812, like on the fall break.
Okay, all right. Now, hold up. Before you continue, I'm sorry, gentlemen. I know the exams are what you really want to hear about. I'm sorry about this disruption. Henry Ambrose, in particular, was very excited about this. He was going to stay awake for some of assembly to hear this announcement this morning. So whatever you have to share with us better be important. Mr. Sawyer, what is going on here?
Dr. Boyd, I caught this student passing a note during assembly.
Well, if that's the case, I feel if it was amusing enough for you to be passing it to others, you should share it with the rest of the class.
I'd be happy to. This spring, you may have noticed something looked slightly different as you went to lunch. You may also have noticed for years that you didn't quite know what to call the MBA dining hall. While the classrooms upstairs are called Wallace Hall, the building itself, which was built in 2013, had yet to be named. The school had been waiting for just the right opportunity to name this central building on the MBA campus. Mr. Gioia loves food and to entertain, and he especially knows there's no better way to a young man's heart than through meals. As the saying goes, if you're going to be a boys' school, you need to be good at lunch. As he helped design the building, Mr. Gioia emphasized from the outset that it should celebrate the names of all the MBA graduates. One of the hallmarks of the building is that it features the names of the over 8,700 MBA graduates to date, with room for at least 150 more years of graduates to come. Mr. Gioia wanted this building to be the centerpiece of the campus, the backdrop to commencement, and a place for the broader MBA community to gather. As the name Commons suggests, this building represents a shared communal space for students, faculty, staff, and the MBA community. And so it was, at last week's leadership dinner, the MBA board dedicated the new Gioia Commons building.
In the 29 years that Brad Gioia has been the headmaster, we have been fortunate to hear an extraordinary range of commencement addresses given by friends of the school that he has invited to spend the occasion with us. From the lyrical compositions of Tom Douglas, through the historical insights of John Meacham, to the profound calls for self-reflection of Alice Randall. Each of these ceremonies has also featured a thought-provoking speech from the valedictorian. And while tradition has it that such a speech comes from a member of the senior class, there is nothing in our bylaws that prohibits us from having a second set of valedictory remarks at the ceremony. And given the occasion of this year, it feels fitting that we make this exception this time in honor of Mr. Gioia. Originally coined as a term in the late 18th century, valedictorian is a portmanteau of the Latin phrase "valle dicere," to say farewell. As such, after all that he's given us during his tenure on the Hill, we could think of no better way to mark the occasion of Mr. Gioia's final graduation ceremony as MBA's headmaster than to invite him to give a valedictory address of his own as our commencement speaker for the class of 2023.